Namaste. I share stories from the ancient Hindu scriptures that reveal the secrets of the self, the supreme reality, and the way to liberation. Today, I'm going to tell you the story of Satyakama, the seeker of truth, from the Chandogya Upanishad. Satyakama was a young boy who had a strong desire to learn the highest truth. He lived with his mother, Jabala, who was a poor and humble woman. One day, he asked his mother, "Mother, I want to become a brahmachari, a student of a teacher who can teach me the knowledge of Brahman, the ultimate reality. But to do that, I need to know my lineage, my family name. Who is my father? What is my caste?" His mother replied, "My son, I don't know who your father is. In my youth, I served many people in many places, and I don't remember who your father is. I only know that I am Jabala, and you are Satyakama." Satyakama said, "Mother, you have told me the truth. I will go to a teacher and tell him what you have told me. I'm sure he will accept me as his student." He then took his mother's permission and left his home with a few belongings. He went to the ashram of a sage named Haradrumata Gautama, who was a renowned teacher of the Vedas, the sacred scriptures. He approached the sage and said, "Sir, I have come to you to become your student and learn the knowledge of Brahman. Please accept me as your student." The sage asked him, "My dear child, what is your lineage? What is your family name?" Satyakama replied, "Sir, I don't know my lineage. I asked my mother, and she told me that she served many people in many places, and she doesn't remember who my father is. She only knows that she is Jabala, and I am Satyakama." The sage was amazed by the boy's honesty and said, "You have spoken the truth, my child. You are indeed a true seeker of the truth. You are worthy of being a Brahmana, a knower of Brahman. I will accept you as my student. Come, join me in my ashram." Satyakama was overjoyed and thanked the sage. He then entered the ashram and became a brahmachari, a student of the sage. The sage then gave him a task. He said, "My son, I have 400 cows in my ashram. Take them to the forest and tend them well. Do not return until they become 1,000. When they become 1,000, you will have learned something about Brahman." Satyakama agreed and took the cows to the forest. He lived in the forest for many years, taking care of the cows and meditating on Brahman. He did not care about the comforts of the world, but only about the truth. One day, when the cows had become 1,000, the leader of the cows, a bull, spoke to him. He said, "Satyakama, you have served us well. Now it is time for you to return to your teacher. But before you go, I will teach you something about Brahman. Listen carefully." Satyakama was astonished and said, "Who are you, sir? How can you speak to me?" The bull said, "I am a manifestation of Vayu, the god of wind. I have come to teach you a quarter of Brahman. Brahman is the reality behind everything. Brahman is the east, the west, the north, the south, the zenith, the nadir, and everything in between. This is 1/4 of Brahman. The other 3/4 are hidden and immortal. Meditate on this and you will understand Brahman better." Satyakama thanked the bull and said, "Sir, you have taught me 1/4 of Brahman. Please tell me who will teach me the other quarters." The bull said, "You will learn the other quarters from other teachers. Follow me and I will take you to them." The bull then led Satyakama and the cows to a fire. The fire spoke to Satyakama and said, "Satyakama, I am a manifestation of Agni, the god of fire. I will teach you another 1/4 of Brahman. Brahman is the fire, the sun, the moon, the lightning, and the stars. This is another 1/4 of Brahman. The other 2/4 are hidden and immortal. Meditate on this and you will understand Brahman better." Satyakama thanked the fire and said, "Sir, you have taught me another 1/4 of Brahman. Please tell me who will teach me the other quarters." The fire said, "You will learn the other quarters from other teachers. Follow me and I will take you to them." The fire then led Satyakama and the cows to a swan. The swan spoke to Satyakama and said, "Satyakama, I am a manifestation of Aditya, the god of the sun. I will teach you another quarter of Brahman. Brahman is the breath, the eye, the ear, the mind, and the speech. This is another quarter of Brahman. The other quarter is hidden and immortal. Meditate on this and you will understand Brahman better. Satyakama thanked the swan and said, Sir, you have taught me another quarter of Brahman. Please tell me who will teach me the other quarter. The swan said, You will learn the other quarter from another teacher. Follow me and I will take you to him. The swan then led Satyakama and the cows to a diver bird. The diver bird spoke to Satyakama and said, Satyakama, I am a manifestation of prana, the vital force. I will teach you the last quarter of Brahman. Brahman is the earth, the water, the fire, the air, and the ether. This is the last quarter of Brahman. The whole of Brahman is hidden and immortal. Meditate on this and you will understand Brahman completely. Satyakama thanked the diver bird and said, Sir, you have taught me the last quarter of Brahman. Now I have learned the whole of Brahman. I am grateful to you and all the other teachers who have taught me. The diver bird said, You are welcome, Satyakama. You have learned the whole of Brahman because you are a true seeker of the truth. You have been honest, humble, and devoted. Now go back to your teacher and he will confirm your knowledge. Satyakama then returned to his teacher with the 1,000 cows. His teacher saw him and said, My son, you have come back with 1,000 cows. But you also have a radiant face. You look like a knower of Brahman. Tell me, who has taught you Brahman? Satyakama said, Sir, I have learned Brahman from a bull, a fire, a swan, and a diver bird. They have taught me the 4 quarters of Brahman. But I have learned them from you, because you have sent me to them. You are my true teacher, and I bow to you. The teacher said, My son, you have spoken the truth. You have learned Brahman from the gods themselves. You have become a knower of Brahman. You are indeed a Brahmana, a knower of Brahman. I have nothing more to teach you. You have attained the highest knowledge. The teacher then embraced Satyakama and blessed him. Satyakama then became a great teacher himself and taught many students the knowledge of Brahman. He also became famous as Satyakama Jabala, the son of Jabala, who was a true seeker of the truth. This is the story of Satyakama, the seeker of truth, from the Chandogya Upanishad. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something from it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more stories from the Upanishads. Thank you for watching. Namaste.